What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another 34-inch ultra-wide curved monitor in for review. I was sent this out to make a short form video over on Instagram, but as always I figured let me go ahead and make a full review off my own back for you guys here on YouTube. This is the H34S18S from KTC, and it has some pretty decent features for a relatively budget-friendly price. Now this monitor, I was told, is available for both US and EU markets, but the link I was provided is for Amazon in the US, and it is priced around $300, which equates to about £230 at the time of making this video. First up, packaging and unboxing is exactly as you'd expect. However, the box did actually come in a wooden crate, which was a first for me. Inside the box we get two parts that make up the stand for the monitor, the feet, and then the part that the monitor itself will attach to. Then we also get some manuals, a power cable, HDMI cable, DisplayPort cable, some screws and a tool for the stand, and then finally the power brick, which you can have a little closer look if you need to just now. A quick look at the stand. It's connected together using the 3 screws that we were provided, and then the monitor clips in nice and easy so you can do it all by yourself. The stand does allow for some decent adjustability with height, tilt, swivel and pivot adjustments, so whilst I would always use a monitor arm, if you wanted to use the stand, it's pretty decent and does allow for some decent adjustments. A look at the available ports here, you'll see there is a DC port, single USB port, 2 HDMI ports, 2 display ports and an earphone jack. The HDMI ports are limited to 100Hz however. There is also a nice little RGB ring light on the back here, which is going to give off some very nice ambient lighting if you have your monitor against the wall like me, and of course it's also VESA compatible with 100 by 100 mounting options. Now let's talk about the monitor specs themselves. So this is a 34-inch WQHD curved ultra-wide VA display. The curve is 1500R, which adds a nice curve to a monitor of this size without it being too much, essentially bringing the edges in slightly closer so you can see the full screen when sat in front of it. The resolution of the display is 3440 by 1440, which is going to make this a great option for PC but not so much for consoles. A lot of people don't actually know this, but consoles do not support ultra-wide displays, which means the image is always going to be slightly stretched and ugly. If that's not an issue for you, then you could use this for a console like PlayStation 5 or Xbox. However, if you want a nice clear picture, then you will not want to use an ultra-wide display with a console. It offers 165Hz refresh rate. However, I am limited here because of the HDMI cable that I'm also using. I usually run a 60Hz productivity screen here, so I'm limited to the 100Hz. But even at 100Hz, you can see here in the video that the gameplay is incredibly smooth. Response time is stated at 1 milliseconds, but that's only with MPRT turned on. And I believe that I read somewhere it was 5 milliseconds with it off. Don't quote me on those figures, however. If you do go ahead and turn on MPRT, the brightness of the screen is severely reduced, so I'd actually recommend just leaving it off. The panel does actually come with some anti-glare and low reflection, which I do think does a pretty decent job, especially as I do have some super bright lights in here. Curved screens can often give off glares or reflections at certain angles because of the curvature of the screen, but when you're sat right in front of them, there's no glare or reflections, at least not in this room. HDR10, FreeSync and G-Sync compatible as well. The colours are pretty good on this screen. It depends what you're used to. I'm not sure a 300 monitor is going to be absolutely amazing if you're a graphics designer looking for those true to life colours, but if it's for gaming, programming, everyday use, it's more than fine. The text clarity is also very good. It's no better or worse than any of the ultra-wide monitors that I have tried in my time. A quick look at the settings menu in here where you can make some adjustments for things like sharpness. You're going to have access in here to control the inputs and things like that. Plenty of options for adjustability and of course being able to control different picture settings. Which does bring us on to some of the features here, which is picture-in-picture and picture-by-picture modes. Now when I shared this over on Instagram, a lot of people were confused, so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate those features in this video. Picture-by-picture is simply that. You can have 2 machines connected and displayed at the same time. In this case, my PC and PS5 are both connected to the monitor, and we now are displaying both images on the screen, meaning you could play both GTA and Red Dead Redemption at the same time. The screen is split down the middle, so both inputs get equal half of the display. Picture-in-picture is a little different, however, where you get a main input, again in this instance it's my PC, and then you'll get a smaller picture for your second input, in this case the PlayStation 5. You can change some settings for the picture-in-picture settings in terms of the screen size and placement, meaning you can have it in any of the four corners and you can have a smaller display or a slightly larger display. This is going to be better if you wanted to play your game still, but then maybe connect something else so you can watch the football. Another thing to note is there are no speakers on this display. I don't know why, but most gaming monitors nowadays tend to come without any speakers at all. I know that they would likely sound bad, but something would be better than nothing. So if you're going to go ahead and purchase this monitor, you will need a speaker as well, or of course some headphones. The speakers that I use on my setups will be listed down below in the description. They're just an Amazon pickup, but they do the job just fine. So I've got to say, I definitely think that this is one of the better budget curved ultra-wide gaming monitors out there for the price. It's got a decent look to the monitor, both the display and the stand. There's some great adjustability in this stand as well, and the quality of the screen and colours are actually very good for the price. 165Hz refresh rate is also pretty good for competitive gaming. The only slightly thing that lets it down is the response time. It's either 1 millisecond with terrible brightness or 5 milliseconds if you have it turned off. But I don't know realistically how much of a difference you would really notice whilst playing your games. But at $300, I still think it's priced very fairly. It's available on Amazon too, which is great because of their returns. So if you was to pick this up and you didn't like it, you know you can just go through the returns process and get a full refund. Anyway, that is going to do it for just a quick look at this budget-friendly curved ultra-wide display from KTC. If you're on a hunt for a 34-inch curved ultra-wide monitor, I would definitely take a look at this one as a potential option. If there's anything that I've missed, let me know down below in the comments. There will be links down there for you to look at the screen, and of course I mentioned the soundbar. But of course, thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.